All right, guys, before we get into the video, I want to talk about my YouTube membership program. Every week, I'm offering Metagame Monday After Dark, where I am laying out the blueprint for how to attack the metagame in the coming week. It's the exact same stuff that I'm going to be applying to my decks. You have a front row seat to that. Then I'm also playing Eyes on the Prize, where Eureka22422 and I will be playing out the finals matchups from the previous week of the Legacy Challenges, and you get to see awesome situations like Super Shredder beating turn 3 Emrakul attack. Then, of course, I'm also recording my challenge runs. Sometimes they end up in a win. You have a challenge from round 1 all the way to the finals. And, of course, my 5-0 league runs. All of that stuff is exclusive to my YouTube members. So make the $5 investment, and I'll see you over there. Now enjoy the video. Hey, what's up, guys? Let's play some more Legacy on the channel. Great to see you, everyone. I will be playing some 4-color up the Beanstalk today. Hopefully we can control the streets. This is a deck that I've been playing on and off for months now. I love the black version with Orcus Bowmasters. I think with Orcus Bowmasters being the public enemy #1, well, at least our enemy #1, I think it makes sense to incorporate them. This time I'm down to 3. I think I fit an additional Force and Negation in the main deck to get one more sideboard slot out of it, something that I will do from time to time, trying to cut corners to fit more stuff. This is a control deck that is trying to get advantage from either Tameo up the Beanstalk or Quantum Riddler, while just playing the best removal spells, binding triggers. Beanstalk can kill anything. That's pretty sweet. 6 forces, some closeout power with Murktide Regent, mana base that looks like a smattering of colors, but there's method to the madness here. The Blue-Eyed Surveil and the Extra Tundra is aiding some sideboard cards. Having the red Triome here is also, strategical in the sense that I don't want this to be a white source because it enters tapped, and white, I need, fast plows, etc., but I still want a red source to fetch out of my deck. Let's look at the sideboard for some of the stuff that we made room for. Third negation, I think, is pretty mandatory unless you go more targeted with your hate. Couple of Hydros, good in a Hexing Squelcher world, or a Steel Cutter, Sneak Attack, Painter stuff, you name it. Consign, this, in a perfect world, we had room for more Consign, but, that's just a matter of priorities. I think in order for this deck to have a good, let's say, big mana, colorless matchup, you will need more Consigns, so we will mainly be looking to try and dodge the matchup. 3 carpets to make life easier against tempo. Then a couple of sweet ones here, Deafening Silence against, the surge of Storm decks in particular, especially when you're playing in leagues. And that is not a diss. I know it's a running joke at this point, but I'm actually respecting Storm with this, so that's me saying Storm is a real deck, right? 2 Sullen Gravestones, which is an interesting one. Now, consider I don't have any 0 mana hate, so I might die more on the draw against Oops. This card will also hurt stuff like Life from the Loam and Emery, so I like having this kind of crossover. Now imagine the card Exhume saw a lot of play. This card would be totally unplayable, but it doesn't, so scoreboard. Then I'm up to 3 sweepers here with 2 Wrath of the Skies having Ursa Saga crossover, and then Toxic Deluge being the faster of the 2 when I have to clear, 2 drops out of an energy deck. So yeah, all in all, I like how this deck looks. Let's see how it plays. All right, match 1. I'm playing up the Beanstalk. This hand looks just fine. A little bit sketchy on the mana base. I guess we're also crossing fingers that we're up against a fair deck. Otherwise, this might be a tough one. Marsh Flats. So I guess there's a... Okay, never mind. I was about to say I guess there's a single Marsh Flats in Blue-Black Tempo, but this is Storm, which is funny. So let's see what the opponent wants to do here. Turn 1 Hexing Squelcher is not a card that beats me right now, but it's a card that can beat me later and make Force of Will a bad draw. So I need to now get to a point where I can Binding and Force of Will the following turn, right? So let's try to understand this. In order to have 2 mana Binding with basic planes in the mix, I need to take a turn off to go and grab my Tri-Land. This is a tough one. My alternative is to start playing the game, but I think there's too high of a chance that I even lose now, so I think I have to make this play. The dream is the opponent passes. Come on, opponent, you can do it. Pass the turn, buddy. You can do it, buddy. Don't do it. Okay. Slow burning wish. We take those. Except if our opponent has LED, I guess. Then this is super annoying. Can't do anything about it though. Echo Viance. Yeah, I mean then they have an LED. Oh, they're passing. We get to play the game. Alright, Triland. Lanes pass. I want my opponent to commit before I pounce with binding plus force. I think my opponent is on a relatively stock version. I'm going to say stock. I don't even know. But the most normal is you have 2 Squelchers and 4 Silence as your disruption. So here my opponent's going to go to combat. Then they're going to hopefully go for it. And I can pseudo blow them out. Let's see. Ah, they might not even want to go to combat because if they go to combat, this can get eaten by a dog, right? Well played. So now they even got their silence. So, oh, another LED. Okay, so the opponent is now just going to sack 1 LED, I would guess. But let's see. No, they're even going to sack 2. No, maybe not. Because, oh yeah, they are. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, the opponent could have gotten silence there and beat 1 force. Here's Leyline Binding. Pay 2 life. Yes, that happens. And now, for my next trick, I think I'll pitch to Brainstorm. Is that it? Maybe Tameo is just a card to pitch. Yeah, let's pitch Tameo. And now my opponent's all the way down to 3 mana on board. So I think this is my time to develop up the Beanstalk. Very nice draw there. Do I Brainstorm first here? Maybe that's good. Brainstorm, fetch, Beans. Alternatively, I Beans first to dig the furthest I can for the next force. Maybe that's better. Okay, let's go up the Beanstalk, draw. Which applies yours doesn't do much. Pass the turn. So this is about me either finding the next layer of protection or... Oh, wow. That's good. Yeah, you gamble an Echo into the graveyard. Yeah. Or I was about to say either find the next layer of protection or close out the opponent. So now even a removal spell for the Chrome Mox would go a long way. Does that mean I should Brainstorm or does that mean I should Surveil? I could see Brainstorming here. I think that's solid. Tundra. Brainstorm. Don't find anything. That's bad. So now what to do? I could upkeep Lorien Revealed, which would give me a look at a new card. Is that great? So I can get rid of Plow and a land. Guess that's fine. Untap. Cycle. This is probably where I get Underground Sea. The opponent's going to cast a draw 7 next turn. I don't like that. Underground Sea. Draw a random card. Force, Binding. Are kind of the draws. Ponder sees more cards. I think that's better. Probably tap like this. All right, let's ponder. Can I get to the... I don't even want to say the check mark because we're still playing a control deck here. Okay, these cards are just terrible, period. So is that card. So now I can draw 2 off of Riddler. Yeah, I should probably do that. So, because I just want to find the next force. I think if I do that, I'm winning the game. So it's better for me to draw 1 card now. 1 extra card, that is. We don't get there. Okay. The opponent gets to resolve a draw 7 while being tapped out. I have a Beanstalk in play. Stuff can happen, but yeah, now the opponent went from getting super blown out to being straight back into the game, which is pretty cool. Echo Eons resolves, and we get into some meaningful cards. We can, thankfully. If I draw a blue card, I have double force up next turn. That's not bad. And I think I might need that. I do have a draw step and a beans trigger to get there. Now I for sure regret I didn't develop the second Beanstalk. Okay, the opponent's passing. Storm deck with a full grip. Scary. Don't find the blue card. Let's play land pass. I will easily force the silence. My opponent leads on that card. I have... Guess I'll double Bowmaster if my opponent goes Squelcher and starts going off. But I'm not sure about that. Alright, opponent. I have had some cool roller coaster games against Storm recently. I remember even a game where my opponent passed 3 or 4 echoes and then still ended up losing. In this game, once you kind of sack your LEDs and get forced, and then rebuilding like a champ, that game is pretty cool as well. All right. Another Surveillant. Realistically, my opponent has 1 way to stop a counter magic, like Silence or Hexing Squelcher, and then a chain that lets them try and win. I'm in a little bit of trouble here. Orcish Bowmasters. Is that a card I should pounce with? If I pounce with a Bowmaster here, I'm putting myself in a pretty good position if my opponent does not win. What if I double Bowmaster here? The opponent takes 1,000,000 and has to win this turn through a force. I don't know. Let's... Oh, wait a minute. I don't have a second black to fetch here. I think my last remaining black card, black land is Bayou. I didn't think about that. Let me just quickly consult the deck list. Black source. Sea, Bayou, Scrubland. Yeah. But I can't even double Bowmaster here. The thing is, I want to give myself a chance to double force by ripping a blue card here. Yeah. Dang. That's brutal. I guess the logic is if my opponent passes the turn, I'll just play a Bowmaster end of turn. Now I also have mana to Binding a Squelcher and Force Pitch. Yeah, Magic is a hard game. I always feel like the first round of a video is the toughest, but I think that's because I need to get into it. I don't think it's... I just randomly have the toughest jobs to solve. I think it's because I have to get into it from, you know, going from doing other stuff to recording Magic. Let's see. Another Brainstorm. This could be time to pounce. And then I'm saying... I'm losing to the 3 silences in the deck, but I'm beating the Squelcher. I think I'm okay with that. Okay. Let's try the Bowmaster out here. I think when my opponent fires 2 cantrips in a row, they don't, you know, don't necessarily have what they need. So I think it's in my interest here to turn up the heat on my opponent. I don't want him to have infinite sculpting time. Now, I will get blown out by silence into a kill, unless I get super lucky. I'll give myself a chance to get... If that happens, if I get silenced, I will cast Binding first to kill the Chrome, and then see if I can spike blue card. And then I'll pitch that blue card to hopefully spike the second blue card. But yeah, not too realistic. But that's what I'm going to do. Could have acted on Bowmasters, with Bowmasters rather, on the first one here. Didn't quite like it at the time. I was a little bit too scared of the silence kill. Maybe the opponent just would have led on silence if they had it, and that should have been my logic. Who knows? The opponent... Yeah, they need to click OK here for the Bowmaster trigger. If there's a silence, I'll go for the play I talked about. Do I fetch to thin my deck? I think so, yeah. Might even fetch to surveil, actually. Yeah, that's a good idea, right? I fetch to surveil and then binding. All right, the opponent's at 12. I have 5 power here, so they can take the damage for a turn or two. Let's see what this is. Dark Ritual. So now... this is hard. Because there's two things to do here. One is kill the Chrome so they can't... what's it called? Whatever. Beseech the mirror it away. Right? But this could also look like, hey, let me get some black mana in the pool so I can tap this Parlor to play a Squelcher. So I'm actually going to put my opponent on Squelcher here and let Dark Ritual resolve. Could be my biggest mistake yet. I guess if the opponent has natural drawn Tendrils of Agony, I am dead, and that's magic. Patiently waiting here for my opponent's best move yet. Burning Wish. Burning Wish is a card that straight up beats me. I think now is the time to make my move. Let's crack this land. Let's get Archive. Blue card. So far, so good. Then I'll go for the play I talked about. Beanstalking. Draw into the blue card. Try and kill off the Chrome, which also turns off the Beseech the Mirror. Yes. So now I will pitch the Murktide because I want to try and spike an additional blue card here. And we do it. Cross your fingers. Come on. We need this, guys. It's very blue. When I was new, I used to think that lands were blue cards, but they're not. Oh, baby. The opponent had to pass here. We got super lucky. All right. Let's see if we can take this home. Another binding, which is funny. So let's see. Attack for 5. That's down to 7. I don't have to Bowmaster now. I can do that later. Yes, I should play Blooded Strand here. If I play Quantum Riddler, I draw 2 cards. Is that worth risking it all for? I don't think so, because these are winning on their own. Play land. Attack for 5, pass the turn. So now it's pretty cool that the opponent cannot draw 7. So they can basically only beat me with a silence line. Because binding handles the goblin, force handles whatever action spell, and I have enough clock to beat them if they don't beat me. Chrome Mox. So this smells a lot of Beseech the Mirror. 3 cards in hand. Should I do a big brain play here? Should I respond here and kill it? I'm actually going to do a big brain play. Let's binding this card because of Beseech the Mirror. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We got him. Okay, that was a sick game. I have, thankfully, a decent amount of cards against the deck. I have 7 cards. That's a lot. Now, is Leyline Binding better than Swords to Plowshares? Well, that's a question for the ages. So, okay, I can cut basic planes, that's for sure. I don't want to cut any blue card. Bowmaster is on the chopping block, and removal spells. I guess that's just how it goes. So maybe, like, I cut all plows? Being on the draw against triple Squelcher is a little bit annoying to think about. Orcish Bowmasters, how good is that? Really don't want to let the draw 7 resolve. But I do like the idea of, you know, passing the turn and flashing in Bowmaster's end of turn. Something like this, maybe, allows 1 binding. It's a little bit random. Binding triggered Beanstalk there, and I was very happy with that, but I think that's also a little bit unrealistic. This could be a decent setup, because then it frees up maybe my Hydra Blast to counter like a Gamble or something. I actually think that's pretty good. I like this setup. Tons of counters, couple of silences, and then still a couple of Bowmasters in the mix. Yeah, let's try this. I think it can still be a super tough matchup despite me having a good sideboard. Let's see. See how that plays out. Yeah, this is a keep. Turn 1, Deafening Silence should put a damper on what my opponent's trying to do. And then turn 2 up the Beanstalk. I guess let's not die in turn 1. Cameo. Okay, let's play Deafening Silence past the turn. So now hopefully my opponent is either stuck for a while or they have to, you know, Burning Wish and find an answer. They like the card on top, so that's bad for me, I guess. This should be a Burning Wish. Okay, Burning Wish for an answer. So at least they're spending resources, right? We like that. Boomerang Basics. I'm a champ. What a draw. So I could fetch my Bayou to have as many types in play as possible. With 1 binding, though, that's not too interesting. Maybe I should just go Tropical Island. I think that'll be fine. Tropical Island. Up the Beanstalk. This is the wrong force, though, so big complaint about that. I will counter the Boomerang Basics. If my opponent fires it now, they are just ready to kill me, right? Hexing Squelcher. Okay. That's cool. That's very tough to do anything about. Huh. Let's think. Do I want to flip my Tameo or do I want more cantrip power? I think I want more cantrip power. Let me do this. See if I can find an answer. I play 5 answers. And these are not any of those. So now I'm at the mercy. Get back down back 2 lands, play a Beanstalk. Yeah, this sucks. This is terrible. Huh? So which land should I fetch here? Guess I'm fetching a Bayou seems a little bad. Maybe a Bayou is the only one that makes sense. Bayou. Yeah. Dang. Hexing Squelcher. Great card. Bayou. Oh, I already cast a spell. Well, I don't know what's going on here. I could even inflate the Tameo. I got lost in my own turn here. Yeah, I should either have played the Tameo or not fetched. This is just embarrassing. So now I'm at the mercy of my opponent. Ooh. I was about to say, okay. Because if they attack here, Bowmaster's on the cards, but I don't have Bowmasters. Wow, that was abysmal. All right. Yeah, I don't know what I was looking for. Like, I couldn't even hit the card I was looking for last turn. Yeah. I think I should Surveil and then Beanstalk, which is funny. Archive, because I'm looking for Hydra and Plow. I did not deserve that at all. I did not deserve that. But wait a minute. Because of... wait. How does this work? I should kill it now, I think. If I kill the Squelcher now, then what? Then I can't... Then, wait a minute. Then I can't counter the bounce, but that's fine. Let's kill it now. Pay 2 life. Yes. So now if my opponent bounces, I can't do anything about that. But I can do something about what comes after. I'm under the silence right now. If my opponent doesn't pounce on this situation now, I'm in a really commanding position because, oh my god, yeah. Because now, when my opponent tries to kill the silence, I can just counter what they do, right? So now I have to worry about, actually closing out my opponent. So play that, pass. Oh, I can brainstorm actually. Okay, I should brainstorm here. Yeah, this is certainly what I have to do. Let's see. And I have double force and can sign up. What happens if I put back? Yeah, I can, but then I can't have but that's fine. I mean, third Beanstalk. That one is gonna flip. The next turn I can bring back whatever. I'm not sure I need more counter magic. That's the thing. Because of how silence works. They cast their card. Or they're waiting for a goblin, I guess. Yeah, maybe I just need the third Beanstalk in play. So how can I do that? If I just put back negation... Nope, this is my spell. It's funny. I've never had this card in play before. I can't cast spells. Okay, so what do I do? I guess this Beanstalk is my worst card, so maybe like this. Put those two back. I have a force of negation on top. Flip plus pass. So if my opponent plays something, I can force a will into the negation and then fetch. I think the opponent can only beat me with Goblin and then go off. Which is why I'm heavily considering bringing back Source to Plowshares next turn. Because that actually guards against that. Deafening Silence is a messed up card, because I'm just used to casting as many spells as possible and trying to optimize that way. But now it's like, okay, only one spell. That's also a drawback on my side of things. Here's the Goblin. Oh, here's Burning Wish. So that's my opponent's spell for turn. That's what we have to remember. What happens if I just Forcer will pitch Tameo, draw into the negation. I feel like I should just do all of that. So draw. Do I want the Beanstalk? That's going to be a no. Do I want 1 mana binding? It's a 1-of in my deck. I don't think I want to bother with that. Let's just do this. Draw again. Burning Witch gets countered. The opponent can't cast any more spells. I think I know what my own card does now. That is exactly the card I want to draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can go Ponder, Murktide. Ponder. There's another Deafening Silence. For next turn. Does that make any sense? Unclear if it does. Maybe it's better than a random card. Didn't win the challenge. Haha. That's a good one. I love the joke. Murktide, counter, untap, play this card. Yeah, so boom, boom, boom. Let's cast Murktide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pay this as well. I held up the wrong mana. I got too confused about chatting here. I didn't deserve to draw this land, to be honest, because I wanted to bring back the plow and hold it up. I wanted to hold up the plow for the goblin I talked about, but I got it was too funny with the chatting. Well, I'm gonna say nope to this one. Pitching, I guess, Brainstorm. Then I'm gonna play a second one with some counter backup in my back pocket and hopefully get there. Leyline Binding is funny here. Yeah, Deafening Silence, attack. And now the opponent can't do any more. Now the opponent can't get out of it. So yeah, Deafening Silence, Shining against Storm. At some point in the game, I figured out what the card actually did. I knew I could cast my creatures, but I kept forgetting about I couldn't double spell. I'm happy that I identified that the Goblin was my opponent's way to win, but I held up Tropical instead of Tundra like a jerk, then drew a Scrubland, which was, let's call it undeserved. But I guess a win is a win, and I hope you learned a little bit of from my mistakes here. Let's keep playing. Guys, quick pause on the video here. I just want to make sure everybody knows what a Booksmart Baron membership will grant you. I have in-depth strategy articles. I have a free tournament series with thousands of treasure chests, including 4 qualifiers in the yearly finals. I have guys sharing their ups and downs with tournament results, achievements, etc. Of course, I have the challenge calls that goes on every weekend where players are spectating each other's, hopefully, grind towards greatness. I have a ton of resources when it comes to VIPs hanging out in the server, ready to inspire and answer questions. I have guest primers from the absolute best killers in the business on their respective favorite decks. Here are some testimonials you can pause the video and read. And of course, last but not least, I have my own personal deck guides of decks that I've either 5-0'd with, top-8'd challenges with. All of that is for the taking with a Booksmart Baron membership. Remember to use code ECO50 to save in your first month. And now, let's get back to the video. All right, more Beanstalk action coming your way here. I have an unexciting hand here that gets to play the game. So what's not to like? We are secretly rooting for opponent to play oops all spells here, but, well, strategically. I know you guys love the longer games. Oh, wow. Well, I might have gotten exactly what I was wishing for here. What I think would be super ironic is if I'm up against Fast Reanimator and I end up losing to Exhume with Silent Gravestone in play, that would be the funniest stuff ever. Oh, wow, nothing. So maybe the opponent was banking on finding a great creature in my hand. I can see that. That's funny. Yep, land pass. What do I do if my opponent tries to reanimate Tameo? Okay, never mind. I think. What is this? Unmask Petal? I mean, I'm gonna force that reanimate, if that's the move. I'm gonna pitch Lauren Revealed. Let's see what this is, because I mean, when you see Petal, so this is blue-black Reanimator with Unmask. Spoils of the Vault. Is this some Turbo Doomsday deck? I mean, you got this, buddy. This card sometimes kills people, so I'll see it. Spoils of the Vault. It's too funny. Okay. So we are indeed Doomsdaying here. So my opponent's last cards are what? Doomsday Force blue card? That's the dream. That is the absolute dream. Force a Will. You love to see it for the opponent. Yeah. Sure. That is incredible. So why didn't they do this turn one? They needed to draw either the... No, wait a minute. I guess they just found one of the combo pieces with spoils. Yeah. Okay. Brutality. Now what do I have to draw? Because one Oracle is gone. I would imagine in a version with spoils, you're playing two. Like, there's no chance you don't. The opponent goes to 5 here, so I think a Bowmaster kills the opponent. So secretly Bowmasters is my best draw. Because the opponent goes to 5 here. They're not going to expect it. I'm going to go get blue-white land here, and then if I find it, I can just develop Flooded Shrine as they put. Pretty cool. The opponent is some mix between Turbo and not Turbo, because, I mean, there's Tameo and Spoils in the same deck. Also, they unmasked my Tameo instead of just taking my Force of Will. I don't know what's going on here. I think the opponent drew their cards in a weird order. Because otherwise, their behavior, I don't know if I should use that word, but their actions just don't make much sense. Now they're going to build a pile. A pile where, let's say Cavern of Souls is missing. I can't rely on forces, right? My best draw is simply just Bowmaster, and I have a couple of looks at it between the Surveil and the Draw Step. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. He spoiled away some cards. The deck is typically pretty redundant aside from, you know, the Oracles, I guess. All right, let's study what is cooking us here. Unmask Doomsday. 4 unmasks. Full Ritual Spoils. Still some Tameos in the mix, which is a fun one. Cavern of Souls not here. I mean, how many brainstorms do I count? Because I do have perfect info. 1 brainstorm, 2, 3, 4. So they're not brainstorming. I guess they're cycling. Okay. Let's just see here. Boom. Quantum Riddler. No thanks. That is into the graveyard. Ponder. Well, maybe Ponder Force of Will can do something. Or maybe Ponder Plow can do something. Nope. Neither of those are going to help me. Negation, huh? Negation. Well, if my opponent is just, you know, cycling twice, I'm just losing. I need some weird stuff to happen. Passing. The opponent's chilling here. Guess I'll just draw. But this is looking... I was about to say pretty hopeless, but Mm. Yeah, let's cast this card now, because there exist situations like I draw Murktide Force of Will, and I have to, you know, develop that and play on. That was not the case here. I feel like I'm just losing to Cavern by sticking around. So, and I don't want to show that I'm a Bowmaster deck, which may or may not be overthinking it. Let's do like this. Warp a Riddler. Super unexciting, but what are you going to do? Up the Beanstalk is not going to cut it. Basically, I need my opponent to have built like a sloppy pile. Spoils. So I think my opponent just has Oracle Cavern as the last two cards. So, but I also think forcing this does nothing, because the opponent will have put, you know, whatever to get to the next card. They haven't. They haven't. Well, it's not that I can do anything exciting. Here's up the Beanstalk. Into Leyline Binding. I can only win if my opponent is sleeping at the wheel with a Oracle with a, what's it called? Non-empty deck. So Bowmasters would have killed my opponent. They have two cards now. And now they cycle again, and they go Cavern. Oracle. Okay. Okay, we got cooked here. That's a good one. All right. Lost game 1 against Doomsday. Tough. Yeah, just, I mean, it was just tough to beat my opponent's draw, right? No shame in that. Those cards are fine. But my opponent does have Tameo. I'll say Leyline Binding is probably too slow. I like Plows in theory. The opponent is not going to hurt our mana, so I can bring out that card. Can I bring in 2 Consigns here? I think with 4 Plows in my deck, I'm pretty good against, like, Baragoyf. Maybe it's okay to hedge so severely against the combo side of the deck. If I were to balance it slightly more, I would do something like keep a binding, remove a consign. So let's have that in the back pocket if we need it for a potential game 3. Okay, down a game against Doomsday. This hand is very bad against fast Doomsday. But I think it's pretty easy keep here. If my opponent just slams Ritual Doomsday, it is what it is. Now the question is if I want to hold up Brainstorm turn 1. Brainstorm allows me to get lucky, I guess. The opponent with them all again, which when you're playing combo, it's very important to not get too comfortable when your opponent is mulliganing, because sometimes you get to a point where all they can do is play quote-unquote Charbelcher, right? And then, you know, it doesn't matter if they have 5 cards, 6 cards, 7 cards, if they just murder you turn 1. Now, Brainstorm is the ultimate puncher's chance, because I need to find Force and a blue card on it. But I still think it's better than not doing it, because it could be like, it could even just be hiding something from a Thoughtseize, right? Or a Unmask, I guess. Okay. Let's see. My hand isn't great against Tameo either. Let's see. I guess if they had Ritual Doomsday... Okay, here's the Unmask. The opponent would need a pretty special hand here to just crush me, but they could have that. Like, that's not crazy. I don't know about Deafening Silence here. Maybe we just put back the worst card and the best card. Is that Beanstalk? Is my best bet that this game is going to go long? What if my opponent just goes, take the Bowmaster, slam Tamio? Yeah, maybe I should hide the Bowmaster. All right, opponent. Let's see if your unmasks are good 2 games in a row. I got cooked last game. Absolutely cooked. So in this game, it looks like from the side of my opponent that I've hit a Force of Will on top of the deck. And that I'm kind of daring my opponent to beat me now. They take the Beanstalk. I guess that card does straight up nothing if they have Ritual Doomsday, so they don't have Ritual Doomsday. It was a Tamio. Okay, so I'm happy I thought about that card. So now I should probably just Bowmaster now. I think that's the move. Now, which land to go and get? I think Underground Sea is fine. Slam Arcus Bowmasters, ping the opponent. So the opponent was indeed playing for a longer game here. My opponent has perfect info. I can F6 here. This is harsh part of why it's important to study your opponents. Like, even if they beat you with their Oops or Doomsday or Breakfast deck, right? You should study what's going on. And just the fact that I saw those Tamios, that now made a brainstorm decision easier for me, and I could hedge against more, of their game plan. Ooh, let's see what they want here. Playing a land to pass the turn. Okay. So I guess in theory, my opponent could have their own Bowmaster. I'm not going to worry about that, though. Love the negation draw. Let's see here. Let's go Brainstorm. And now I can play Murktide Regent. Yeah, I think that's the move. Do I like Deafening Silence more than Plow? I don't think I do. So get rid of Deafening Silence and Tundra for then to fetch Tropical Slam Merc. Okay. Murktide Regente. If I get forced, it is what it is. If they crack clues, I start punishing slowly but surely. Here's a 5/5 that also conveniently blocks the Tamio. I have Plow for any Barragoyf shenanigans. I have Force of Negation for any Doomsday shenanigans. And they can't sculpt with cantrips. And I have a decent clock. So I like my spot here. How did we get to the spot? I think we got to the spot because I noticed last minute during the brainstorm decision. Well, first of all, I played an untapped land turn 1, anticipating a discard spell. Then I put back Bowmasters in anticipation of the Tamio. So, yeah, a few good decisions there. Otherwise, maybe I just have a Beanstalk. I can't trigger it. My opponent's outdrawing me with clues, right? All right, third land. A little bit of a bad mana base here for the opponent. Well, I'm rooting for a Barragoyf, but I'm putting an upkeep stop in case of Sheldred. Let's see if the opponent has counter backup. They don't. Okay. So my opponent had a sweet draw with Unmasked Tamio Doomsday, but we were able to thankfully do a good job against that. I'm keeping the plows in the deck because just turn 1 Tameo answers, right? Which is pretty good. This deck is actually quite weak to decks that has a potent combo plan that I have to answer, and then, you know, just 4 Tameos. It stresses the deck a lot, so I have, like, these 4 answers, and then Bowmasters are pseudo-answers, I guess you should call them. Keeping Consign in the deck because I didn't see any Baragoyfs. Deafening Silence. It felt a little bit weird, I must say, pitching it. What did I do? Putting it back and shuffling with Brainstorm. But I guess it's just like a role player. It's not really a hard lock or anything. Maybe it's just bad. I don't know. Did I have 2 bindings instead? Tough to tell. All right. This is solid. If I put a Ritual Doomsdays, I have that covered. If the game goes longer, I have solid stuff to do. Now, the big one, I think, is what do I do against turn 1 Tameo? That is the big one. Dark Ritual. Yeah. Dark Ritual Baragoyf. Well, it's unfortunate I don't have a plow, but I have to fight over this clown. I don't like that my opponent played out this pedal. Let me put it that way. Okay. Turn 1 Baragoyf with Days backup. That's good. Now I need to find a plow somewhat soon. I guess let's go Trop into the Tameo. Now, worth noting is my opponent might have a pretty bad Baragoyf deck, all things considered. That's what I'm rooting for right now, but it really puts on pressure. I don't mind chump blocking twice with Bowmasters. Ponder would be a good follow-up. I'm going to take the damage here. All right, opponent, can you hit a creature in the top 2? You can! That's crazy. That's what you want to see. Very, very good for the opponent. 3 Tameo it is. Yep, you got it. Dang, that's brutal. Consigned to Memory is something that I guess time walks against the Baragoyf at some point. Let me get Orchid Bowmasters in a play. And attack with Tameo. Really want to find Source of Plowshares, and I think I'm winning this game quite often. Turn 1 Ritual Baragoyf with Days. That's a good one. Did my opponent see Plows game 2? Because if they didn't, that might have been a good reason for them to bring in Plow. Sorry, to bring in Baragoyf. I can't remember. I'm actually going to take it here, I believe. I'm going to take it, I believe. Come on, baby. Let's see. Can the opponent do it again? They can. Orcish Bowmasters it is. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Oh. I don't like that. The opponent shouldn't have passed there, I think. But I get to go to this point in the game. I have a plan here, and that plan might not work. Yeah, that plan doesn't work. Beanstalk kind of sucks now. How big is Murktide? No, that's not going to do it. What happens if I crack a clue? Then my opponent's going to play that. Yeah, that doesn't work. Ah, boy. So I can't can't Murktide until next turn. I need to kind of consign the ETB from Bowmasters to have a shot, because I need my Murktide to trade with the Baragorf. But for right now, that's a little bit unrealistic. What happens if I Beanstalk here? I think I have to. So maybe like this. So go... play this card, and then hopefully the opponent will, like, ping... Oh, they're really going to respect days. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not complaining. Wow. Now I think I'm supposed to attack like this and chump block. Okay, this game just got a little bit weird because they didn't fire, so they're respecting days out of my Beanstalk deck. And now I'm getting Bowmastered. And I'm hoping the Consign will do good stuff. Oh, wow. That's a good card. Huh. Well played. And now they can take away the Consign. Consign. So right now we have instant sorcery land. And they can Bowmaster the blocker and get in. Yeah, this is getting tricky because that Bowmaster is so... like, the opponent's Bowmaster is gonna hurt my Beanstalk playing as well. Ooh. The opponent got me good here. Just showing how the dynamic of a 3-game match, right? Because I thought I was super smart. Look at me. Can't lose. And now I have silly Deafening Silences in my deck instead of 2 Bindings. Yeah, that's perfect for the opponent. Well played. Orcish Bowmasters. Killing my Bowmasters. Okay. So allowing me to chump block at the very least. I'm gonna do that. Think it's about time now. Think I need some good stuff. Or I'm swimming with the fishes. Okay, let's go for a Meticulous Archive. Best draw in the world, Source of Plowshares. Can we do it? Nope. Yep, that's bad. The biggest problem right now is my Murktide will be 1 off. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. Yeah, I have to cast this card, because otherwise the problem is the opponent can put Artifact into the graveyard at any given moment, and then they have a 5/6. So I need 1 bigger. So casting Ponder into the opponent's Orcish Bowmasters. Can't say I love it. And I think I'm supposed to take the land here so I can play my card. I think I am supposed to do that. Ping. So now I should attack because this card is flipping. So the Tameo Plus, I guess, is decent. Then I play a Murktide, which will trade the Baragorf, and then I kind of have a shot from there. Kinda. Which lane am I fetching here? I don't think I'll ever need double green. I have double white. Underground Sea, maybe? Blue. Let's beat days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will flip the Tameo. Wow. That card is certainly a plow. Now, is my opponent's last card days? The biggest question yet. is my opponent's last card Daze. Oh, boy. I'm going to pass here. Let's see. Oh, this could be so bad. Ooh, wait a minute. The opponent's doing that. Well, I think it's time now. I think it's time. Let's kill the Barago. If your last card is not Daze, buddy. Can't be. I don't like this pause. I feel like I'm getting blown out here. Ooh, I'm not getting blown out. The opponent draws the card. Crazy game. Now I need my Tamio to survive so I can plow once more. I can plow once more. I can Murktide once more. And we're kind of getting into where I want to be in the game. But the opponent has some clues in the bank here and a few cards. Okay, so the opponent is just flipping the Tamio here. I like that play. Cracking 2 clues to flip the Tamio. The cool thing for me is I'm gonna be attacking dead that Tamio. Bring back Plow. Plow Bowmasters. Play Murktide. Yep, that works. Another up the Beanstalk. I don't think that's for now, though. All right. Try and bring back Plow. Grow the Merc to a 7. Kill Orcish Bowmasters. Get forced. Ooh. Okay. Okay, opponent. Okay. I feel like I should play this Murktide out. Don't daze me, bro. So I will draw here. My opponent will ping dead Tamio, I guess. Grow this to a 4/4. Yeah, this is a crazy game. So now I have these boys in play. I'll play land, because why not? Then I'll attack that the Tamio. My 8/8. I think I will trade Orc for Murktide here. I'll get super blown out by a Bowmaster, but it is what it is. Here's a cycle. I got super surprised. So the Baragoyfs you could kind of predict, but Bowmasters, at least I didn't have them on my radar here. They really blew me out this game. Okay, Tamio's something I can work with. 1 card in hand. I really don't think my opponent should concede here. Like, yeah, this is a lot of big bodies, right? But if you attack here, am I going to go to 6? Probably not. I'm going to trade. Then I'm going to attack for 8. I don't think the opponent's losing here at all. Can't use my clues. Can't Beanstalk. Well, at least without, you know, okay. Well, perfect draw. Damn, this game was sick. I'm really, really happy about a lot of what happened here. I didn't expect to win this, to be honest. I just expected this to be like a cool game, but I guess that's exactly what it's all about. It's having cool games despite the outcome. All right, 2-0. Let's keep on playing. All right, round 3. I'm playing Beanstalk and a rocky road, but we're still standing at 2-0. This hand looks awesome against anything unfair. Now, the challenge is, if I ponder turn 1, the only card I know I'm looking for is up the Beanstalk. Everything else is kind of who the hell knows. But I still think it's worth it because I play that card is such high impact. I have no idea if knowing his source supplies here is good. So maybe I can do something smart where I draw the lore unrevealed. And then I also draw the plow if it's good. So I do like this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I think this is good because I want my mana source. And then I have the flexibility of fetching on upkeep if my opponent is non-creature. We found the line. Well, this didn't exactly teach me much, right? I'll do this. I'm not sure what to make of Bloodstained Mire. I can grab an archive here. Still looking for Up the Beanstalk, though. That's what I know. That is not Up the Beanstalk, and I have plenty of lands. Let's get rid of it. Now, I could easily be playing against Blue-Black Tempo, and I end up in a situation where I now have to force a will, Orcish Bowmasters, or what have you. That's magic. So if I keep the plow, I get blown out by random combo decks. I mean, this could be another Storm deck, which would be... Wait a minute. The opponent's a Reanimator deck. Because they kept the card on top here. No, wait a minute. Why would they keep it on top? Because it's a Reanimate. Okay, so this is funny. So they are Reanimator deck. What can I do in the meantime against the big bad Reanimator deck? I should probably Brainstorm, because Brainstorm can give me, like, Beanstalk and a blue card. Okay, so Triland is bad. And I guess Bayou is bad. Guess playing out a 6/6 here is decent. Murktide Regen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty cool. You can play that on turn 3 with your control deck. I like that a lot. So now I expect my opponent to go to cleanup. Let's see if I'm right about this. Because they just drew the card they sewered for. They just drew that last turn. Okay. So we are looking at some Storm situation. So I'm now losing to Hexing Squelcher plus Kill Me. That's too funny. My opponent is playing Storm. Okay, the deck is following me around. That's I love to see it. So now white is, I mean, killing the Chrome is not nothing. How good does that compare to Bowmaster? Because I'm trying to figure out what mana to hold up. I have 3 Bowmasters in my deck. I have 4 Beanstalks. Maybe this is how I play. Oh, I clicked the wrong cantrip. I meant to click the Ponder. That's too funny. I meant to click the Ponder. Oh, well. It looks like we got away with it, which is hilarious. What happens if I put back 2 lands, Beanstalk into the land, and then cast Ponder? Let's try that out. Because this way I'm also building a graveyard to maybe turbo a Murktide kill. Yeah, Plow's not bad. So maybe draw... I think like this is good. Attack for 6. 2 forces. Is that enough? It's bad against Hexing Squelcher, but if I get past this turn, I have, what's it called? Silence. So now, basically, what needs to happen now is I need my opponent to try and go for it. So this is why I should give them the fake tank. The fake tank means I have 1 force. Does forcing even do anything good, right? I need to put them to put me on, you know, simply just having this 1 force and that's it. Drawing an additional card here is pretty cool. Now the question is, Shouldn't my opponent just go for it here, right? That's at least what I'm thinking. Dark Ritual it is. Is this Besiege the Mirror getting countered? Yeah, it is. Okay. So let's counter once more. Pitch what? Quantum Riddler, I think. Pitch Quantum Riddler. Is that the right move? I think so. Pitch Riddler, draw. Okay, the opponent didn't want anything to do with that. So I hope you got the point of that, where they silence. Like, you need to look like somebody who only has one force, because you actively want your opponent to go, you know, Ritual, eat my mocks, Besiege the Mirror, close my eyes, right? You actively want that to happen. And this was a spot where, in theory, my opponent could have said, I'll try again later. I'm not going to, you know, I'll take one more hit and then see. And yeah, I don't want that. I want my opponent to commit there. All right. So now remind me how I sideboarded last time. I think I kept in Plows. Like, did I keep in 2+1 or something? Can't remember. Boarded out Plains, if I recall correctly. I think I boarded like this. So now on the draw, is this just Arrogance, and should I just have Triple Plow? I think the answer to that question is probably yes. Because you need to develop different, you know, basic land types, etc. So with that being said, is Basic Plains better than Catch Rate Triumph? I think it is, because it's an untapped source. So let's try and sideboard like this against the pesky Storm deck. Wrath of the Skies. I don't think that's a good card against Storm, unless they randomly play out their stuff. But in general, my deck doesn't incentivize them to play out their stuff, because I don't have, you know, the Hymn to Torax of the world or whatever. All right, this is a good hand. I have double force, so I'm good against fast kills. If I can find the green source before there's a showdown where I need to show my force of will, I really like things. Now, I have to remember my opponent is a triple Hexing Squelcher combo deck, so if they have like a slow hand with a turn 2 Squelcher, that's where things get iffy for me. Plow, Hydro, Murktide. I think I will end-step Brainstorm here. I don't love it, but I think I'll have to do it. Don't Squelcher me, bro. Okay. Not getting squelched. Brainstorm? I guess we take this. Yes, we take this. Hydro, such a bad combo with Basic Plains. Can I really sit here? I don't think I can sit here. I should... Nope, wait a minute. Yeah, I should cast this Ponder. So I guess I play like this. I put Ponder, Beanstalk, land, develop the land, pass, holding up the Hydro, trying to be very careful here. Because I have the Silence plus Kill lockdown, and now I also have the Goblin plus Kill lockdown, so I think this is worth it. My top card is up to Beanstalk, so if I survive the night, I can, you know, develop that as well. Let's see if I survive the night, or my opponent has some ideas. Hexing Squelcher. Yes. Huh. Hexing Squelcher. I think I should just play the beans out. And then kill it later. Now I'm going to look like somebody with a plow. Up the Beanstalk. Land, it's not bad, it's not good. Am I going to take the damage? I think I'm going to take the damage here from the Squelcher, because I don't see the chip damage mattering, but it could matter if my opponent has a second one. Let's see if I'm right. I will hydro at end of turn, though, because mana usage is a thing. They couldn't kill me there, but I guess they had the plow read. Huh. Another pretty cool game, I must say. So now I can play Tamiyo and Murktide Regent. I should do that. Play Tamiyo. Oh, actually thought I was flipping the Tamiyo. I'm not. I am if I cast Riddler, for what it's worth. But I don't think I should do that. I should play like this. Let's put a clock on our opponent. Up the beans. Pass. So now I'm losing to another Squelcher, but they would have played it, right? They can draw it now, and I look like a fool. But I'm not sure I have the play in me to pass with Tundra up here. The opponent passes one is more. 6 cards in hand. That's a little bit scary if Natural Tendrils is in the mix, so I'll have to think about that at least. Brainstorm. That's good. All right, let's try and put a clock on our opponent. Flip the Tamiyo, take it from there. Let's not worry too much about second Beanstalk. Let's just cast this Brainstorm, see what happens. 3 lands. Okay, so I put back 2 lands. That's pretty easy. Still have double force. I even hold up Plow. Which lane am I getting? Probably just the Surveil. Plus play land. Pass. Trying to get into a spot where my opponent is dead to the next Murktide. This is a weird one. The opponent keeps passing. Let's go archive. Now, I think I should clue first and then resolve the archive. I think that's slightly better. I could even brainstorm 1 bad card away now. Okay, let's do that. What's my worst magic card in hand? What is my worst magic card? Could be the Lauren Revealed. I'll play like this. Surveil 1. I have double counter. I'm trying to get to the next one. Now, how to do that? Each Quantum Riddler is like a Night's Whisper. Is that good? You would think so. I have Deafening Silence in my deck, and I don't think I'm interested in more beans. All right, let's dig for Deafening Silence. Quantum Riddler. Another Riddler. That's funny. I can play land now. Does that make sense? Maybe I can just do that after. So I do another Riddler here. Deafening Silence. No Deafening Silence. Get another jab at it here and then ponder. So yeah, I actually see a lot of cards here. Another Beanstalk. That's not useful. Let's see. I should probably just play Island so that I hold up either Hydro, Plow, or Deafening Silence, depending on what the ponder finds. Okay, my opponent didn't like their chances here. I only have double force, right? So let's see. What do I see on the ponder? I see beans, land, land. I'm going to shuffle those, and I'm going to draw. Oh, the game didn't let me draw anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I think these combo opponents are conceding a little bit too early, but I also like a lot how my 75 lines up. I guess, you know, I play Deafening Silence in my deck, and I've played against 2 Storm guys. And I think maneuvering around Hexing Squelcher was one of the coolest things about this run. But yeah, you know, the tradition, 3-0 run, that means I'll continue my run for my YouTube Barons in a membership-only video. I highly suggest you go and check it out. I have tons of content over there. Metagame Monday After Dark, where I'm solving the metagame, giving you guys the blueprint for the week to come. I have Ice on the Prize, where I play against Eureka, and we play out the finals matchups that we handpicked for you guys while talking a little bit of trash. And yeah, then I have my trophy runs, and I've even won a challenge over there recently. So yeah, a lot of good reasons to spend the $5 and go over there. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you to Four Seasons for sponsoring my journey over here. And thank you so much for you guys watching. And I hope to see you back soon for some more sweet, sweet Legacy action.